Well, who do I have with me here today?
I'm Katie Rader,
Katie
author
Rader?
of You Don't Need Headlights to Shine.
An author. You don't need headlights to shine. Well, tell me, Katie, what is this book about? And who are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, well, I'm Katie. I am married with 2 teenage girls. I just told Patricia, pray for me because I have 2 teenagers and they are every bit of the teenage stage right now. High school, all that. I was diagnosed in 2022 with breast cancer, and I immediately started journaling my whole experience. Every day I had never journaled in my life, ever.
Wow.
And I just started writing what was happening, my feelings, what the doctor said, everything, and it became a book. It just kind of fell in my lap. I'll tell you that whole story. And I don't know, did I say we're from Plant City?
You're originally from Plant City,
Yes.
so you're native. You're more native than I am.
Yes, our whole family, everybody, Plant City. So
What do you do for a living?
I'm a hairdresser.
Ooh.
I think this is my 26th year. I started right out of high school. I have my own salon.
You do.
Yes, and so that's what I do full time.
My daughter starts at Empire right here on the north side.
Yes.
Thursday is her very first day ever.
Oh wow.
She's already been through a place called
For makeup.
for makeup, yeah.
And now she's
Vamp.
doing-
The Vamp.
She's doing cosmetology.
Now she's doing cosmetology and
Amazing.
she starts this
So
week,
Oh,
next week.
career.
Let her know if there's anything I can do to be helpful.
Oh, will do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Katie too.
It's
we
a
love,
great
we love our
career.
students.
Yeah,
we
so-
love our future industry professionals.
She really wants the makeup portion, but apparently you have to go through the hair to get the license. Does that sound right?
It's all kind of, if you're under cosmetology, then you have free
Yeah.
reign to do everything. So yeah, it's probably.
Yeah,
Does she
that's-
want to do like cosmetic makeup, like?
She does, right now
Like
she's doing all the
permanent-
kids at the Comic-Cons makeup, and she does all
like
her friends.
theatrical and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
But she dolls herself up every day.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would always suggest to pursue education beyond what you think you may need. That license will allow her to command a different price point. It will get her through different doors. It'll help be a avenue. It's a platform to get her to the next place she wants to be.
That's
Right.
fantastic, yeah.
Mhm.
The more you know, the more you're gonna be able to do.
Great. Yeah,
There's so
absolutely.
much covered under cosmetology.
What's the name of your salon?
My salon, I work at home now. I have a she shed in my backyard.
She shed, okay.
And it's called Ginger Roots. And I've had it for, I think about 10 years I've been by myself. And I love it. My clients love it.
Build up your network of
Yeah.
clientele. That's why
Because I
keep
did the
telling
whole
her.
salon thing where like you're in chairs this close to each other, you know, for however many years. And then COVID came and messed up a whole bunch of stuff. And so I was like, let's just do it at home. And now I don't know if I could go back into a big setting. Because we're so used to like, we talk about everything. All the personal
If
stuff.
I could be a fly on the
Oh,
wall.
you love it. All that girl talk. Yeah. So it would be hard to transition back to a salon where the person next to you may not want them to hear. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, people tell you everything. I mean, you can ask and they dish it. And sometimes you don't even have to ask. They just tell
Well,
it.
Patricia, I don't know if she ever caught on or not, but I befriended her because she works at a hairdresser and I know. I know.
So Don and I have had this conversation before that I believe the best way to get a message out to your community is to tell your hairstylist. We touch everyone
If you connect.
from a 4 to 6 week period. Not many relationships have that type of appointment structure. Your
That is so
parent as an
true.
adult, you may not see them that often. Your best friends as an adult, maybe even your own siblings. That relationship is so sacred
It is.
and so full of respect and trust
Mhm.
that often hairstylists are the first to hear or detect something that may be going on, a difference either that started with your hair or how you're explaining your feeling that in that consistent of a way. So it's partly why Katie and I think are such great friends and have so much in common is because we understand that relationship.
It's, yeah, community.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can save someone's life. Sometimes you can save some money. If everybody is out to help everybody, it's a community.
Yeah. That's so true.
So tell me, I'm sorry, tell me more about your diagnosis and down that road if you don't mind me asking.
So when I was diagnosed, I was 42, and I had not had my mammogram because of COVID, like it kept getting canceled, and so I finally had it. And my regular general practitioner, he looked at me and he was like, "You haven't had your mammogram." And I was like, "I know, I'm gonna do it." And he goes, "No, I really want you to do it." Well, in my family, we have colon cancer.
Excuse me.
God bless you. Colon cancer is rampant. So I had been getting my colonoscopies, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get breast cancer, I'm gonna get colon cancer if anything happens. So he was like, "Get your mammogram." So I got my mammogram like 3 weeks later, and looking back, I'd had super sharp pains in this right breast.
You mean to tell me you had symptoms?
Oh, I had severe, and usually like in a woman's cycle, we'll have a little bit of twinges every once in a while, but this was like shooting, and I kept thinking, well, I have my mammogram coming up, I'll tell them about it. Well, that day ended up being an entire day. When I walked in that morning, I did not leave till like 3 or 4 hours later, and they told me that day, without a doubt, you 100% have breast cancer. And we think both breasts have it at that time. So I had mammogram after mammogram, I had sonogram, all that stuff that day, and I was a basket case.
I can only imagine.
I could not speak enough to even call my husband because I was like, I can't tell him this over the phone. He finally was like, "What's taking you so long?" And long story short, I get home and I'm like, "They said I have breast cancer." And he's like, How? They don't have a biopsy, like, and I'm like, they know what
these computers are really
they
getting
see,
good.
yeah. And it was large enough, all later on I find out I had multiple tumors, it was in my lymph nodes. So then that was November of 2022. That January, I had a double mastectomy with reconstruction the same day, which is that's not very common. But my surgeon was at the end of his career, and he was like, "I'm pretty confident we can do it this way." And so we did. And I've had probably 7 or 8 surgeries total, and I'm still not really done. It's been 2.5 years.
Wow.
So I learned a lot about the breast cancer community and cancer in general, because every cancer is different, every person's different, every diagnosis is different, and each doctor wants to treat it differently. And there's no right or wrong, but I think the main part to let patients know is that you're in control. Like, don't forget you're your own advocate. If something doesn't feel right or you feel like they should be further checked, like, do it, say it. Because doctors are human too. They know what they know, they're educated, but you have intuition and okay, I don't really want to do it this way. Is there a different way, or should I get a second opinion? And I think people forget that they're their own spokesperson.
Yeah, we let the responsibility go to these institutions blindly.
Oh yeah.
And we wait, "Oh, you found something? Okay, let me know." But you gotta be proactive and think for yourself.
Yeah.
So how long was it when you're ignoring these pains to the diagnosis? Because you said if you feel something, say something, think something, but you didn't.
Well, I'd already had the mammogram scheduled when I had the pains, so I just kept thinking,
Okay.
when I go to the mammogram, they'll
Okay.
we'll talk about the pains. And so I had the mastectomy. They found that it had gone to my lymph nodes, so then that required me to have chemo and radiation. So as a hairdresser, my hair started falling out, had to shave my head. The day I shaved my head was a big deal, but I actually embraced it very quickly. And it was kind of like a liberating, freeing.
Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah. And it also was like, I hate to say it but it's kind of like a badge of honor to wear. Like people, because I didn't wear a wig. So obviously people kind of would look at me and know that, something was going on. And so I was like, yeah, I'm a warrior. I'm doing this and I'm getting through it, and you could do it too. You would be fine. People would say, "Oh my gosh, if I lost my hair, I would just die." And I'm like, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. Or if I got cancer, I would just cut off my boobs. I wouldn't even. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. You don't know what you would do till you're in that situation.
Every one of them is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife, I have back problems, and every injury is different. One person may have an injury of a car that hurt this part of their body, this one part of their body. Every injury is different.
Mm-hmm.
Every cancer is different.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you say to yourself, I'm going to start taking my notes and put this down on paper, and perhaps in the future it'll be a book?
Well, so I didn't ever put it on paper. It was in my notes app on my phone.
Okay.
And so I have a really tight-knit group of friends, and every day they would say, like, how are you doing today? Like, what's the latest? And I'd say, well, let me just send you my journal entry. And so, like, on my notes, I would just add my friends to my notes. So if I made an entry, they would see it. And they would read it and be like, this is really good. Like, it's encouraging. Or how are you really feeling that? And I'm like, these are my true feelings. And they were, like, shocked, or I think some people were impressed that I could speak eloquently, maybe, because I'm from Plant City and we kind of just, you know, we say ain't and y'all, and so to write things in a proper form, they were like, wow, you're smarter than I thought, you know. So that happened for months and months, and I would just every day have an entry, and lo and behold, people were like, you need to put this in a book, and I'm like, no, I don't think so, and I prayed about it. And then I told the Lord, because this whole book is literally my faith. Like, it did not start out being my faith at all, but it just morphed into that was my survival. So
It triggered what was already in you.
absolutely. So I prayed and I was like, okay, God, if you really want this to be a book, then you'll just drop a publisher in my lap, because I'm not tech savvy. I've been a hairdresser since 18. I never used computers, nothing. So I was typing notes on my phone. That was it. So I ran into this old friend, and she had written a book, and I'm like, what are you doing? We're at this bookstore. And she said, well, I wrote a book, and I said, well, I'm kind of writing a book. I don't really know. And she goes, well, here's my publisher. Here's her number. Here's her email. Call her. It's like, oh my gosh, did God just throw a publisher in my lap? So I call this woman. She says, send me your manuscript. I'll let you know. She's like, I'm really busy. It'll take me about a month to get to it. I'll let you know. 24 hours later, she emails me and says, here's a contract. This has to be a book.
Really?
She started on it, and
She said, I read it in between calls all day. I couldn't put it down. She goes, I would love to publish this. This will help so many people. And that's how I met Ashley Lloyd, who's the director of the Breast Cancer Foundation of Central Florida. She saw my book online. I guess she told me every day she would Google breast cancer and Plant City and breast cancer Lakeland, and like people would pop up. And so she reached out to me and she said, we need to get together, because you're a Plant City person. I need, some connections there. And we met for breakfast, and that's been it for she and I. And part of my healing was meeting other breast cancer survivors, and we all help each other because we're all at different stages in the game. And I was ahead of a lot of people, or I was behind a lot of people, and we would all help each other. And nobody, when they say, like, how are you feeling? Nobody really wants to know how you're feeling. Because if we sit and tell you, oh, my joints hurt so bad, like, you don't want to hear that. Or, I'm taking this drug and I have to take it for 10 years and I feel like crap, and nobody really wants to hear that. But when you say it to another breast cancer person, they're like, oh my God, thank God, because I can relate to that.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and also in our society, there's quick judgment. There's
Yes.
very quick judgment, and
Oh,
you have to
yes.
get past that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sincere, you'll get past it,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not sincere.
Right.
So, when did the book come out?
So last October, we wanted it released for Breast Cancer Month. October 1st, it started out with a different title, but I didn't know that, what did you call it? The airwaves, the federal,
FTC?
the FTC would not let me say the original title. So
Share that if you don't want, if you want to.
it was called Titty Tales.
Okay.
So when my friends would call me, I'd say, I'll just send you the titty tale of the day so you know how I'm doing. And then when she offered to publish my book, she was like, well, have you thought of a title? And I was like, well, I've been calling it Titty Tales to my friends, and so let's make it Titty Tales. Well, the FTC was like, we don't like that on the airwaves, so I didn't get a lot of public,
Traction
I
or
couldn't get
exposure
anybody
to
to
it.
say it. So October 1st, it was Titty Tales, and then a few months later, I changed it to You Don't Need Headlights to Shine.
From a marketing perspective,
Mm-hmm.
that name, Titty Tales,
Uh-huh.
get the .com,
Uh-huh.
promote it as Titty Tales, because there's nothing that says you can't do that.
Right.
So if you can get Titty Tales, which is, that's like a brilliant name, and you can ignore the FTC, use it in your marketing campaign and point it to this.
As your brand.
Don't just as your brand.
Your next book could still be Titty Tales.
That's right.
Right.
You need to grab that and hold on to it.
I mean, it's already kind of been taken.
Oh, if there's someone ahead of you, that's something
There's
different.
other, you know, cause
Okay.
usually when you Google titty, it's not a nice thing that comes up.
Right.
So that was another problem I was running into too, that it was not, you know.
Okay. So, if it's not yours, then I understand,
Yeah.
but that is fantastic. That is fantastic. So, you wanna share anything specific to have people come by this? Anything in there specific that will,
Well, on the back I have the top 10 things I learned
Go
from
ahead.
my journey. Okay,
Please.
the top 10 things was, number 1, God never fails. Number 2, bad things happen to good people. Number 3, God turns bad things into good for his glory. Number 4, it will be okay. Number 5, with him I always have hope. 6, his word never returns void. Number 7, I am never alone. Number 8, I know who I can count on. Number 9, nipples are overrated. And number 10, I am highly favored by God. And so in the book, I use a hashtag called God's Fave because my whole life I've always felt like God loves me the most. I know that's crazy, but I'm like, I always have this favor on me in certain situations, and I'm like, I think God likes me better than anybody else, you know. And so I would like brag about it, and stuff would happen, and people would be like, God really does like you. And I'm like, I know, I don't know how I get so lucky with stuff. So stuff like that happens throughout the book, and it's not just a breast cancer or faith journey. Everybody that I know that has read it has said you could take breast cancer out of it and put depression. You could take breast cancer out and put divorce. You could take anything that you're struggling with and put it in there and kind of help navigate your journey. And even if you don't believe in God, it's just like a really good way to like navigate your life, the positivity, I would say. And I'm saying this because that's not really how I thought I was. Does that make sense? So I learned a lot about myself. And it's a daily, like you can see, day 1 and then day 2. You know, like, so if you are not you don't like to read, you could read it
break
day
it
by
up?
day. And people have said it's kind of like a daily devotion where they just read it and go, oh, I'll take that little piece for today and go on.
Would this be appropriate to gift someone who's been newly diagnosed?
That's been a huge selling point, is where people come to me and say, I know somebody, can I get them their book? And I've had people with mixed things say, I got to a point where I had to stop because it was too close, too familiar. And then, you know, then I've had other people go, oh my gosh, I can't believe you put into words exactly what I was feeling.
Just like you said before, everybody's at a different point during their journey.
Yeah. Or even someone you love, someone who's going through this, and you want to know more about what they're going through, what they could be going through, or how to help them, or what's not helpful.
Yes.
What's frustrating
That's
to
in there.
you.
All of that's in there. I keep it pretty raw, like when I'm not happy. I mean, there are days missing that we did not publish, because those were like extremely personal. You know, maybe I had stuff with my teenagers going on and stuff like that, that's not my story to tell, so that's not in there. But like I said before, even somebody you love going through any kind of crisis, it's kind of one of those books where you can put that in there. And
It's a formula with different variables. You can just change out the variable and the formula can still come out.
yes.
That's one.
And I think in the introduction I put that, like, this is my story, this is not a judgment on anyone else, this is my experience. If you don't believe the way I do, that's totally fine. I'm the kind of person that I can read and be objective. I could read, you know, if you were a Satanist or whatever, I could read your perspective and be fine with it. So it's not meant to be a judgmental book. That is my true experience and how it's read. And actually, I'm trying to get my youngest to read it right now because my older daughter read it live as it happened with me. My younger daughter wasn't quite ready, and so now she's struggling with her own stuff. And I said, you know, you should read it's my journal. If you want to get to know your mom really well, that's a good way to find out what your mom's thinking. You know, and so she's reading it.
If she doesn't appreciate it now, I assure you she will in
Yeah.
2 years.
I think
There's
it'll
no doubt
come.
about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that is wonderful. So,
Hello.
the benefit. Tell me, Patricia. Oh, I'm sorry. Where can people get the book?
Amazon, or from me.
Amazon, and I will have it on iamlakeland.com/authors.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell us more about the benefit. This is a benefit called Garden of Hope.
Yes, sir. Katie's situation, unfortunately, is not unique or all that special. 1 in 8 women,
Maybe less.
I think it's less than that now. Our
You're gonna
statistics
say is
are
gonna
going to
get
diagnosed with breast
1 in
cancer.
8.
That's probably less.
I think it's less than that now.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, because of COVID and certain people will go without getting diagnosed, especially because of age, different, they don't have a history of it, they don't think that they have symptoms, and they just think they're too young. And younger people are getting diagnosed with breast cancer, and listening to Katie has and listening to other breast cancer patients have enlightened me to what can happen, especially to women when they're diagnosed. So we have situational poverty that can happen when women get diagnosed. They're often part of the breadwinning team for their family, and if they have to go through life-saving treatments, there's a cost to it, there's a time, there's a recovery, there's a miss from work. Maybe you can't take care of your young children, maybe you can't lift, maybe you can't get out of bed, maybe you're sick.
All the responsibilities that you've got.
And women, this is not a newsflash, we put ourselves last, and we'll put other things before our own health sometimes. And the situational poverty is really what infuriates me, because no woman should have to decide between a life-saving treatment and paying their bills. So the Breast Cancer Foundation of Central Florida, and how Katie and I are connected, is we both knew that we could do more, and that there were other women out there that were in the mom trenches in confusion about their diagnosis or next steps, fear because of their financial situation. Divorce rates can go up when someone's diagnosed with breast cancer, so that you may not have a strong support structure. It may just be you. And sometimes employers don't understand, your family doesn't understand. So the Breast Cancer Foundation of Central Florida is focused on paying the non-medical bills of local Central Florida active breast cancer patients. We understand that there can be financial help out there for your medical treatments or medications, things like that, but as far as paying your rent, making it to your chemo, your gas, your days off of work, or maybe potentially losing your employment because of your diagnosis and treatments, lack of support groups or understanding. So we offer people community, we offer answers to questions, and there's multiple once a month survivor groups. We have different events throughout the year. So the gala is what I've got my fingerprint all over. It's going to be at Bonnet Springs this year, which just won the nation's best public park.
I've seen that, like USA Today.
Oh my God.
I've
I
seen
am
that.
Lakeland. Oh my gosh,
There
I
you
am
go.
Bonnet Springs Park. So we are thrilled to have this prestigious place to have our event this year, and this is our 8th year throwing this event, and the proceeds go to helping local women in our own community take care of their non-medical bills, whether that's a mortgage, their rent, their electricity bill, gas cards to get to chemo and their treatments, helping with their children's activities so they can keep going to get their braces put on, their soccer camps, their things like
Christmas
that.
gifts.
Yeah, so we have found that this work is detrimental to our community, and we're in a really dire place with everything going on in our nation and the world. It seems like nonprofits are dissolving left and right, and it's
I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's
it's
news to me.
very difficult, especially after COVID.
They're not getting donations to keep them floating? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Well, one thing I learned, not to interrupt, but as a patient, I learned, because quickly, when you're diagnosed, people reach out and go, oh, you know, Susan G. Komen or Relay for Life, or, you know, all this stuff. American Cancer Society, and they're like, oh yeah, I wanna be a part of all of that, I wanna help. But most of those things are great for research purposes only. They don't really help local people. So when I was diagnosed and I met Ashley, it opened my everything to like, oh my gosh, these women need their bills paid. They don't care if you're gonna find a cure right now. Unless you have a cure right now, I don't care. I needed my mortgage paid. I need my car paid so I can get to my appointment. So that changed my entire perspective on who really needs the funds when you're raising funds. Like Susan G. Komen and American Cancer Society, all of that is good for research, for the whole of it. But there were women in my community that could not pay their bills. And I knew that I could send them to the Breast Cancer Foundation and they would get help. And right after I was diagnosed, maybe 6 months later, a girl that I grew up with was diagnosed. And I said, she called me immediately and I sent her there. And I think I've been in contact with about 40 women in my Plant City community since.
Wow.
That may not have needed their actual bills paid, but they need that sense of community. But I had no idea that I thought if I'm giving to this cancer thing that it doesn't help like that.
Yeah, if you go to the national ones,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna get the benefit
Yeah,
back. to
and
some-
this is, the money stays local. We're trying to spread the word.
Mhm.
You know, we want it to spread quickly, but we don't want to help too many of the area without having the funds coming in to do it.
Sure,
We would love to
overextend
help.
yourself.
Yes, we'd love to help every woman that calls, but right now we're just not able to. But the gala can help.
Yes, this can be a way people can help. We have lots of information on the website for Breast Cancer
What is
Foundation
that?
of
Is that the
Central Florida,
BCF?
CF.org.
Okay.
And that will, hey, if coming to a fancy event is not your thing, that's great. We have a 5K, we have a golf tournament, we have a fishing tournament. We're always looking for raffles, volunteers. There's lots of ways you can help. And to your point, a lot of people think, well, I've given to breast cancer before. However, and I've learned this through the years of participating with philanthropy. This is a nonprofit that functions with a completely 100% volunteer board. And they're all local business owners and people in our community and doctors, and they see firsthand the need for this, but we're in a dire situation. We need funds in order to continue to do our work. And being on a volunteer board, meeting with patients that are now back and
In
healthy,
recovery.
they're in recovery, and see their amount of efforts that they put back into helping this, it is an honor to lead this board, and it's an honor to share this with you today, because we are doing good work. And I encourage people listening to this to ask their employer if they work, like, are we donating to a local nonprofit? Where do our philanthropy funds go to? Washington, D.C., California,
Whole county?
or do they stay right here and help your own neighbor
I
and help
agree.
your own coworker? And so really questioning the transparency of where your philanthropy dollars are going is okay. And as a small business owner, I see the value of that transparency, but also the integrity. You know, when you're running a for-profit business and a nonprofit, it's very important to have that. And so the integrity of the women that I've met through working with this foundation
That's fantastic.
is amazing, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
That's wonderful. The recipients of the assistance,
Mm-hmm.
I assume they talk back to you, or they give you feedback, or they have Google reviews. I don't know, but I know that if the reviews from the recipients aren't good, you're going to the wayside. So it sounds like, since you're in your 6th year, Eighth year?
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing something right.
Yes, sir.
Something's going right. The recipients are receiving it. It's coming back. We just want to help more.
We need, yes, so our hope is that we can raise enough money to start an endowment, raise enough money to really put this in perpetuity for forever, and make this so that we can grow this into something that's going to be a part of Central Florida, an impactful part for families for women and men. Men get breast cancer too. We're happy to help, you know, in any way we can. And spreading the awareness is one part of it, but really driving home the point that we need some funds
That's
coming
right. That's
in,
right.
or we're at full stop.
That's
So
one.
yeah.
So let me give it some more. It's a Pink Ribbon Gala,
Mhm.
and it's on October 4th of this year, 2025, Saturday night at Bonnet Springs Park. They get their tickets at,
They can get their tickets online. We have sponsorships available. Tickets are on sale now. These events sell out every year.
they do.
Our masquerade sold out months before. It was
So much fun.
it was before tickets ended. So Lakeland is a myth. If there's an event that you're throwing that people want to come to, the tickets will sell. Get some friends together, create a party around it for a great cause, and we'd love to see
Now,
everyone there.
Out of silliness, because I don't know, I apologize. So buying the ticket is your donation, or do you buy a ticket and
Great
give
question.
when you get there?
So the sponsorships and tables that are available, we'd love for people to not just come to the event, but sponsor it. If that's not something and they want to come to the event, there's tons of great revenue making activities on our Garden of Hope. You know, I'm going to bring the artistic flair. There's going to be some really big surprises, but we
All
have
right.
a live painter that's coming. We have Kendra Scott that's coming to sell jewelry, especially for our event, with proceeds going to BCFCF. We also have some of our stylists that are going to be out there doing some fun things for people's hair that can be temporary and participatory. Our hope is to create a garden of hope with lots of different interactive things and magic, little whimsy outside on the lawn that people can participate.
It reminds me in the thing you did at the
Inspire.
Inspire.
Our hair
That's
show.
right.
Yeah, so if the venue team is on it, we're bringing creativity, artistry, and bringing our community to it. So it's going to be something very special and one of a kind. We don't want to miss it.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. You guys want to add anything else?
Just
in
say,
the future we're gonna have something else going on?
yeah,
Just tip somebody off?
No, I'm gonna keep that a little secret.
Okay.
I've got to keep some stuff tucked away. But Garden of Hope, October 4th, Bonnet Springs. Tickets are available at bcfcf.org. Katie, your book is available.
You don't need headlights to shine. It's available on Amazon, or if you know me personally, I will deliver. Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Well, thank you guys for your time. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
We
Very
appreciate
well.
it.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
I want to thank Coash for letting me use this beautiful room.